Good morning! I got tagged in this video.
Black farmers are being left out, overlooked, and pushed closer to extinction. And let's talk about history. Black farmers once owned 14% of United States farmland. Today, less than 1.3%. How, Sway? I'll tell you. Generational land theft, discriminatory USDA policies, and a long history of being denied access to the very tools white farmers receive as defaults.
So I'm going to do something unusual and begin by addressing the white folks, because we got to have a little preamble. White folks have a hard time understanding that racism is not white hoods and robes and burning crosses and violence necessarily. A lot of times they can't believe that there's still racism in agriculture because they haven't heard of any lynchings or Klan meetings recently. And farming just feels like too pure and honest a place for that kind of nonsense to rear its head anyway. But let's go ahead and put the issue in a context that I think even conservative white people, especially white women, will be able to hopefully understand.
Just look at her. Just look at her.
And look at the comments from men on that video. Shit is wild. It is just an endless stream of dudes going out of their way, like way out of their way, to make sure that she is put in her place and she knows she don't belong there. You know, saying stuff like, oh, anything but working, and always the person in the grain cart, and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm moving my chicken tractor if you're wondering what the heck I'm doing. Anyway, they are seething mad. And why are they mad? They're mad because she's a woman, she's young, she's pretty, and they're just gonna go ahead and assume that she doesn't belong there, that she's entitled, that she's there because she's not qualified, but she knows the right person. Maybe her daddy's the right person, or she's sleeping with the right person, whatever, right? And the thing is, it's gonna be these same angry, sad little men who are gonna be at the FSA office, the NRCS. They're going to be the ones who, if this woman decides that she wants to farm for a living, she needs a loan, she needs a grant, she needs cost sharing, or, you know, any number of the programs that, you know, white male farmers take advantage of with no issue whatsoever. These same angry little men who think that women don't belong anywhere and she's entitled, she's a butthole, like whatever, they're going to carry that with them into the workplace, into their positions of power, where they control whether or not she gets funding, for example. And this is why DEI exists, to make sure that people in positions of power don't exercise prejudice and bias, etc., against people, especially traditionally excluded people, when they're just trying to be treated equally like everybody else and not held in contempt because of whatever these people have in their heads. So all that to say this, racism in agriculture usually operates this way. It's not people necessarily getting shot off their property like it's freaking 1890. It's a lot like what this woman experienced. So racism in agriculture is me walking into an FSA office looking for a farm operating loan, and me running into the same kinds of people that this woman ran into in her comments, except now I don't even look like her. Like, white men have way more animus towards black people, and especially black women, than they do against, say, white women. Now, the question I obviously get asked, and that I was asked that prompted this post, is how do you get around that as a black farmer? And the answer lies in the fact that lots and lots of white people are actually pretty cool. Cool white boys like the ones that are partners in my business. They can go into places that I can't without dealing with the BS. They look like they belong, especially people like Mason. This is a big part of the reason you'll see me, somewhat controversially, arguing against the family farm model, arguing against justice, quote unquote, oriented nonprofits, and for interracial corporate farms that are black led, but have a wide diversity of people who own them and run them. It's much harder for racist people, prejudiced people to target a farm or business like mine than a black family farm or a black farm nonprofit. A business like mine is kind of like stealth aircraft. Like, we just don't present that big a cross section for people to target. When somebody walks into the FSA, it's going to be a white guy with a giant beard. When somebody goes to the bank, it's going to be a white Jewish guy from Ohio. If someone's going to deal with a federal procurement office, it's going to be a South Asian guy. Meanwhile, my black ass is sitting in a smoke-filled room pulling all the strings. So, how to avoid racism in agriculture? Mr. Miyagi said it best.
Very first karate lesson. Miyagi father always say, best way to avoid punch, no be there.
Have you noticed that there's one group that has not made any noise or made videos complain about Trump's policies hurting them or their business? Black farmers. How many videos have you seen of black farmers, excuse me, making videos going, oh, I'm going to lose my farm because Trump cut off benefits. I'm going to lose my farm because the Department of Agriculture no longer gives me subsidy. How many videos have you seen of black farmers doing that? That's because black farmers have historically, till this day, been excluded from all government subsidies. So right now, every white farmer is learning how to survive the same way black farmers have been surviving. Like I said, what Trump was going to do was bring every white American down to the black American level. Welcome to niggerness.
It seemed crazy to me. I just seen a scale that they put out talking about how much money each demographic makes, which to me is crazy that you even release those numbers. But nevertheless, I just don't understand. This is why the farmers is messed up now, because they see that and they see African Americans at the bottom making $35,000 a year, and they don't know we've been out here grinding and taking care of ourselves this whole time. Because I get mad stuff for free. Like, I don't know anybody who makes $35,000 like on paper who lives at $35,000. Like, they still get their hair done, get their nails done, get everything done, because, and you like, how you getting that done? They talk about it, and people are like, oh, she goes to get EBT, but she got her nails done, and she do that because you know that my man down the street, he flips cars, and he gonna let me drive this one as long as I watch his son. Do you know that my girl, she does my hair for free as long as I, hook her up every now and then and come through with the fish plates? Like, we've been on that. We got a whole circuit of people. That's how we move. That's how we live. I wouldn't go by that. That's why these farmers is messed up, because they thought they was going to get the Latinos out of the country and then black people was going to take over.
Echo Room family. Y'all see what season it is, right? It's that poetic, karmic, foot and mouth, USDA decline letter type of season. Hashtag FAFO. That's find around, figure out, for those just tuning in. Because while some folks are out here crying over lost subsidies, ICE raids, and no-show field workers, black farmers who've been catching hell since 1619 are out here moving in silence, building, planting, and reclaiming. And to the surprise of absolutely no one who's ever read a history book not printed in Texas, white farmers are now getting a taste of that generational USDA seasoning black farmers been marinating in for decades. Let's talk about it. Before we dive right in, credits to the originators and stitches of this video. See you at the end of the video for more commentary.
When it comes to the white farmers who are losing all of their workers and are about to lose their farms, I say that's the way it was always meant to be. You were never meant to employ all of these people for little to nothing / nothing when it comes to your ancestors and be able to make a profit off of it. It was never meant to be the cool, rad thing that your family does for generations to make money. It was never honest work. It was never honorable. It was always tainted. It always involved holding people against their will to squeeze every single dime you could out of them, whether by force or by threat. It was always about that. And it was never right for this country to make that their foundation and their road to wealth. And so now that it's crumbling, we are returning to the original form of what things should have been. So there you go. I get that they work hard and some of these farms have been passed down from generation to generation. Well, for generation after generation, we've had all of the stuff that you have piled onto us passed down each and every time. I don't want anyone to suffer out here. I don't want anyone to be on the streets or lose their possessions or anything. And I don't want anyone to be exploited for their work either. I don't want anyone building off of the backs of people they deem less than human. So if you're already doing that and you lose the things that you've gained, if you're finally reaping what you sow, so be it.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today? My name is Lane. I'm a third-generation farmer from Florida, and I'm standing in a field of potatoes we planted 70 days ago. We're going to dig one up. We're going to take a look and see what it looks like. This is a 90-day variety here. They are lapping up pretty good. Vines are looking nice and healthy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything good underneath them. But like I say, we're about to see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I forgot to bring a tripod with me, but these things are big. I mean, they're about knee high. I'm 6'1". Nice, healthy looking vines. Enough talking, let's dig one up. This right here so you get your hands dirty. Mama didn't raise no pretty boy. Well, this is what we got so far. That's what's to be expected this time of year. Now, like I said, this is a 90-day variety, but we ever hardly harvest them on the 90th day. We give them plenty of time to grow in size like we need them to. Now, looking at the seed here, that's the original seed piece that grew this plant. We cut our seed in a half, thirds, or fourth. That way we get more use out of them. This farm that I'm on has some of the sandiest ground that we have. Nice, good sandy dirt produces pretty potatoes. I'll cover them back up. I'll come back and get them when it's time. I plan on trying to film as much as possible, trying to keep you updated on how the process is coming with growing the crop. But pretty soon here, before we know it, it'll be time to get in here and dig them.
We have to protect our black farmers, and more of us need to become farmers, as prices of food will continue to rise. We already have food deserts and food insecurities to contend with in our black community, so it's time to stay focused and get involved. Black farmers have played a critical role in the agricultural development of the United States, contributing significantly to the economy, culture, and the agricultural industry. George Washington Carver, a renowned agricultural scientist and inventor, is credited with creating several innovations in farming tools and practices. While he did not invent the plow itself, Carver's work in improving agricultural practices helped to optimize the use of plows for crop rotation and soil conservation. John Lee Love invented the portable pencil sharpener, but he also developed the mechanical cotton picker, which greatly improved cotton harvesting efficiency. His invention helped replace the labor-intensive process of picking cotton by hand and changed the agricultural industry. Then, in 1887, Joseph E. Lee patented a device that made planting crops easier. A seed sower allowed farmers to plant seeds evenly and efficiently, saving time and labor during planting seasons. This innovation helped increase productivity in farming. John Standard. Then you got John Standard, another black inventor, improved upon the design of the lawnmower in 1899. His patent included a mechanism for the mower's lubrication system, making it more efficient and effective in cutting grass. This innovation contributed to farming as well as landscaping practices. Then we have Henry Blair. Henry Blair was one of the first black Americans to receive a U.S. patent, which he received in 1834. His innovative potato planter, the device was designed to plant seeds more efficiently, significantly improving potato farming by increasing planting seed and accuracy. Henry Blair also patented a corn planter in 1936, which allowed farmers to plant corn more efficiently and in uniform rows. This invention reduced labor and time spent planting crops, contributing to the improved agricultural productivity. Joseph G.P. Johnson invented an improved hay rake in the 19th century. The device was designed to make the collection of hay more efficient, reducing labor and time involved in gathering hay after it had been cut. Richard Allen, another black inventor, developed an irrigation system that was designed to conserve water and help farmers manage water resources more efficiently. This system is especially important in regions where water scarcity is an issue. Though not strictly an agricultural invention, Lewis Latimer, another black inventor, developed improvements to the design of the home heating furnace that also had applications in farming for creating more efficient systems for heating greenhouses and farming equipment. But despite the important historical role of black farmers, they continue to face systemic racism in modern-day farming, like discriminatory lending practices. One of the most significant challenges for black farmers is access to loans. The USDA's long history of discriminatory practices, including denying loans and assistance to black farmers or offering them less favorable terms, has led to many farmers losing their land. Even today, black farmers face difficulties securing loans from banks and financial institutions due to both racial bias and systemic inequalities. Many black farmers have been unable to keep their land or pass it down through the generations. This issue of land loss has been exacerbated by inheritance problems, where family land is divided and sold off, leaving descendants without access to the land that their ancestors worked. and died for. Because there are people not given the right information or resources to keep their land in the first place. Black farmers have often been excluded from USDA programs designed to support farmers and ranchers. There have been instances of racial discrimination where black farmers did not receive equal treatment or support in securing disaster relief, subsidies, or other forms of government aid that white farmers received with no problem. This discrimination persists, and many black farmers still experience unequal treatment in accessing government services that are supposed to be available to them. Black farmers continue to face limited access to resources such as technical assistance, agricultural training programs, and support networks. This makes it more difficult for them to innovate and expand their businesses and compete in the modern agricultural market. In some cases, black farmers also face environmental injustices that disproportionately affect their ability to grow crops and maintain their land. These issues include poor soil quality, contamination from nearby industrial pollution, and limited access to clean water, which often affects the black communities more severely. But it doesn't stop there. In rural communities, black farmers have reported instances of harassment by neighbors, particularly when opposing large-scale agriculture operations like factory farms. Black farmers have engaged in legal actions to combat discriminatory practices within agriculture policies. Despite long-standing advocacy, compensation for past racial discrimination against black farmers has been limited. The USDA announced a $2 billion relief program for black and minority farmers, aiming to address historical wrongs. However, leaders like John Boyd, Jr., president of the National Black Farmers Association, criticized the payments as insufficient, stating, "It's like putting a bandage on somebody that needs open heart surgery." Boyd continues to pursue further legal action for more comprehensive debt relief to pay back all the wrongs done to black farmers. The number of self-identified black farmers in the U.S. has declined over the last century, in part due to overt discrimination by the USDA. While recent reports suggest a rise of over 45,000 black farmers, experts question the accuracy of these figures, suggesting that they may be inflated due to the census mythology. This discrepancy highlights ongoing challenges in accurately representing and addressing the needs of black farmers. These reports underscore the persistent issues of harassment, discrimination, and systemic inequities faced by black farmers in the U.S. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive policy reforms, accurate data collection, and sustained efforts to ensure fair treatment and support of black agricultural communities. So let's recap. Black farmers have made immeasurable contributions to U.S. agriculture, but they continue to face challenges due to systemic racism and historical inequalities. However, their resilience and the work of numerous organizations dedicated to supporting them are helping to ensure that black farmers have access to the resources and advocacy they need. By addressing the issues of land loss, discriminatory lending, and unequal access to government programs. But more of us need to get in the fight to not only protect our black farmers, but also to make sure that their produce is where we spend our black dollars for meat, fresh fruit, and vegetables. Circulating our black dollars is crucial to our black liberation. There's nothing we can't accomplish together, and they know it. Now, we need all of our people to know it and act accordingly. Share this video with as many of us as humanly possible to make sure that we're getting the right information out to our people. I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
In 1920, nearly 1 million black farmers owned over 14 million acres of land in America. Today, that number is less than 50,000 farmers and under 1 million acres. This didn't happen by accident. It was the result of systemic land theft, racism, and government betrayal. Through heirs property laws, black families lost land without compensation, no will, no rights. The courts forced sales, while other buyers circled like vultures. For decades, the USDA, the very agency meant to help farmers, denied black farmers loans, grants, and aid. That discrimination wasn't just racism. It was economic warfare. In 1999, black farmers sued the government and won. But many never saw a dime. The damage? Generations of lost wealth, stolen futures. Now, the land that fed black communities is owned by corporations and developers. 98% of U.S. farmland is white-owned. But today, a new generation of black farmers is rising, reclaiming land, growing food, restoring what was stolen. This is our history, and it's still happening now. Black land loss is a crisis. Speak on it, share it, never forget it.
Welcome back, fam. Let's rewind. Black farmers used to own 14% of all farmland in the U.S. Now, just 1.3%. Wow. Why the drop? Bad luck? Nah. Try land theft, racist loan practices, USDA slow walks, denial of disaster relief, and a whole lineage of oops. Your paperwork got lost again, Mr. Jenkins. Meanwhile, white farmers have been out here catching subsidies like it's stimulus season every year. Y'all ever notice how they cry small government until it's time to collect that agriculture welfare check? But now, suddenly, their golden spigot is dripping. ICE is raiding, undocumented workers ain't showing up, and now the cows, corn, and crops are looking at them like, so you finna pick this or nah? Now, shout out to the original video and stitches, it hit hard. A young black farmer broke it down. She gets side-eyed, talked down to, and disrespected simply for existing in the space. Dudes in her comments act like she photoshopped herself into a tractor. But what's even deeper? These same men, angry, insecure, suspicious, are the ones sitting behind USDA desks in farm services agencies, deciding whether she qualifies for grants, loans, or support. That's not just personal bias, that's systemic sabotage disguised in professionalism. So when DEI shows up to balance that, suddenly, folks start panicking like diversity is a pesticide instead of the actual fertilizer the system needs. You know what's wild? White farmers are shocked that the same system that's upheld them for generations is now actually applying pressure to them too? They're in full denial. This is reverse discrimination. Nah, buddy, it's reality catching up. And DEI, that ain't about special treatment. It's about getting out of the way of folks who've been gatekept, sidelined, and sabotaged while still producing miracles with red clay and dry soil. Now here's the kicker. While white farmers are crying about government overreach, black farmers are thriving quietly, building co-ops, using social media to create direct-to-consumer markets, sharing resources, holding land, educating the next generation, and doing it with a fraction of the resources and none of the entitlement. They're not dependent on ICE, not crying over labor shortages. They're out there reclaiming what was stolen, not with press conferences, but with planting season. You know what that is? That's generational resilience finally blooming. So to my white conservative friends out there, you had every chance to listen. Every sign, every warning, every hashtag FAFO tweet. Black farmers told y'all. Black economists told y'all. Black history told y'all. But y'all were too busy cosplaying as frontier warriors to listen. And now it's silent tractors and loud consequences. Echo Room vibes, fam. Stay tuned. Because when justice hits the fields, it grows slow, but the harvest is undeniable. Peace out.